We're working with a car loan, payments, vlookups, statistics. You bought a car for $45,000, $10,000 down payment. You need to know what you're paying. You have to subtract down payment from the cost of the car. Equal, minus, click on the cells when you do it. We want to do the monthly payment. Monthly payment is what we're paying per year over the years. So to do that, it's the payment function. We go to formulas. You got a library here. Financial. We go to PMT. You got the 3 bold boxes that need to be filled in. The bottom 2 are optional. You've got the rate. And you're paying this monthly. You divide it by the number of months in a year. Make this. It doesn't have to be a constant because you're not copying it. Some people do that. Don't need to do that unless you're doing a grid of various things. So it's divided by the 12. You're paying this over 5 years. You're multiplying it by the 12. You could type it in. Some people like the reference there in case you're doing it a bi-monthly payment, which will reduce the interest payments. The present value of the loan is the $35,000. We want it to be a positive number. Hit the minus sign. Okay. It's $644.42. Now we're going to do a couple of little things here to figure out what we're going to be paying over the 5 years on this loan. So it's equal monthly payment times 5 years times the 12 payments. It's 60 payments. That's what you're paying. So let's say you want to change this to 6 years. Monthly payment goes down. You're paying more interest. Total interest paid. You have to subtract from the total amount. So you're paying $4,400 in interest over 6 years. We're going to be doing some if statements and a few other things in here. The first thing here, we want to know what we're spending per month on the car loan. You have an annual income. You've got a monthly payment. You either annualize or monthlyize one of them. It doesn't matter which way. It's the payment divided by the income. So it's equal this, the monthly income, divided. You may want to use parentheses, not always necessary, but it makes it more visual. So you're dividing it by the annual income divided by 12. Or make sure you use the cell reference there. And I didn't type that right parenthesis. It wants to put it in there. So we have that there. We could format it as a percent. We could right click and go into percentage and give it 2 decimal points. Say OK, 10.51%. We're going to be doing a couple of if statements. I'm going to do the lower one first. It's slightly simpler. What it is, if I'm spending less than $400, I'm going to go on vacation. Otherwise, I'm staying home. And we can tell by looking at this, we're not going on vacation. So let's go to logical. If it's true or false, it's binary. Only those conditions. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on the monthly payment. And we're going to say less than 400. Don't type dollar signs. If it's true, vacation, puts quotes there, stay home. You don't have to type the quotes here. You say okay. It says you're staying home. So let's say you decided to put down $25,000 on the car. You won the lottery. You're going on vacation. I'm going to undo. And you can see how the percentage changes too. Now we're going to do an if statement with a calculation, true or false. So what it is, let's get into the logical, click on the if, and we want to say if the monthly payment is less than 500, what we're going to do is we're going to invest 7.5% of our annual income. So it's this. You don't type in a sentence because you want to know, and you could type in 7.5% showing a number over here. If it's false, you're going to be multiplying this times 2.5%, or you could type it in as a decimal. So I do that. I have 1562.50. I could make it currency if I want. And if I were to change things here, let's go back and make this $25,000 car. You're going on vacation. You're investing more money. Now we want to do some commissions here. The salesman wants to make some money, okay? You have an escalating thing here. The more the car sells for, the bigger his commission. And we're going to be doing a vlookup to do that. Then we're going to determine the amount of commission. You're dealing with this data range here. What you can do, you can name a range. I highlight this. Don't include the captions at the top. I click here and call it salesman commission. You cannot put spaces in it. Have an underscore. So I want to do the commission rate on the cost of the car, which is $45,000. So we're going to do a vlookup. Formulas. We go to lookup and reference. Vlookup. 3 parts. The bottom one is optional. It's not bold. So the lookup value for the first one here is 45,000. Table array. I could type this in. And it's saying what the blank is happening. I didn't type in the right range name. But watch this. If I highlight this array, salesman commission, I had spelled it wrong before. You got to spell it right. Now, when you're doing the vlookup, you have 2 columns here. It's either column 1, column 2. The column number that we're doing is column number 2. We say OK. It's 5%. Again, you could format it as a percent. Now we want to know the commission on the car. Simple math. The 5% times the 45,000. So he's making $22.50. But let's say they upped you to a $64,000 car. Look what happens. A lot of things are going to change down below. Huge car payment. Stay in hope. But you got a raise. You're now making $71,000. Just type right over it. You're still staying home, but you're investing a little bit more money, and it shows a commission at $3,200. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the other sheet called cars sold. I want to talk about statistics. These are the cars you sold this month. You want to know the average, the low, the high, the median. Pretty easy to do that. We go into these cells here. We're going to click on the drop down arrow to the right of the sum. We click on average. We highlight these cells here. You got to look where you're going. I want to know the low. That's min. You got to look at the cells. You could also type it in. I could type in equal MAX, type in the left parenthesis. You could highlight bottom to top. You got that. I go over here. I need to do the median. It doesn't show it. You go to more functions. You go here. You're going to go into statistical, and then you scroll down till you find MEDIAN, median. That is the midpoint. It's highlighting these three cells here. Incorrect. Highlight these cells. The box collapses. Say OK. That is the median. That figure does not exist in here, but if you were to go and change a couple of numbers here, like let's say this was a turbocharged Mercedes, or the BMS, it should have been a BMW, but let's say that was 71,000. Look how the statistics change. The median is still pretty much the same. And we're going to go here, and let's say this was a used car. It went for 8,000, but it's still showing the midpoint of the 28,225, which is the mid-range of there. Go through these things. They will help you to remember, and you can do a lot of core Excel skills in any topic.